through corruption or incompetence. Now, I'm with Mr. Montero all the way. I'm one of his biggest admirers. I'll let you know. This thing about looking at words, I've been to the municipal and the province. I've been through those monitoring things. And it's only the first time the Secretary has gotten a system, thanks to Undersecretary Navarro, that will check it. Do you know they have no grand checklist? They give it, pinsan ka ng mayor, ito road to your house, not farm to market. Ganyan. Bulgar na bulgar. 3% binibigyan, apat na walang pong nangyari. For the first time yung nangyari yan. Ngunit, hindi sapat ito. Gusto ko po yung bureau mo extension na makikita. Secondly, cooperatives. Isa pa yan. In 2010, 15 years ago, we saw these people rising. I was in Israel. I saw the kibbutz. I was in Taiwan with my own research. And I was in Vietnam and Thailand doing things. And we saw small is beautiful. But unless it is organized, you're going to be lost in the global competition 15 years ago. So if it took 10 years for the to look a little bit at this extension mess, and it's certainly not enough. We like it, but it's not enough. As Mr. Montero said here, we're not here to point fingers, we're here to help. But unless we point the finger at what to help, something may not happen. So I'd like to say, if it 10 years to do that, it took 12 years. 12 years from 2010 to do something. What happened, sir? Do you remember that the RCEP was here? You were not in the Senate. I was with SINAG, FFF, Alianza Agricultura, etc. And our alliance came up, and we said, we're going to fight you 1 year. Okay. And my colleagues at DTI, who know me as a cement guy, I headed cement in 6 countries for 12 years. They said, why are you doing that? We said, are you crazy? How can you open our borders when our agriculture is going to be killed by these guys when smuggling is rampant, when the agriculture money we have, which is 2% of the budget as compared to 4% of Thailand and 6% of Thailand, and 1/3 of it is wasted? How can you open the borders? So we stopped it. And as you will get from Senator Garda, they put in conditionalities which did not happen anywhere in the world. And one of those conditionalities was cooperatives. What happened? Thanks to Secretary Chu Laurel and Navarro, etc., we now have this thing called F2C2. Beautiful. Farm to farm and fisher consolidation. Guess what? 1 hour ago in this hall, I talked to my friend whom I also admire. I said, do you know how that thing works? You know, before that it's 0. Now they had 140 million. Do you know how that thing works? He said, doesn't know. Why? We were together in that fight. And I said, why don't you know? Do you know? The head is here. We'll call him. He's here. Hello, Dr. Nate. I like you. But I don't like the work because their entire thing, where the Thailand is not called Ministry of Agriculture, but Ministry of Agriculture and Cooperatives. From 0, 130 million. Mr. Onyate, please tell my friend I admire, how many people you have, and are they undersecretaries? Can you tell me? Well, I'm the only one. And how many people do you have? None. All COS. Oh my God, not even assistant division chief. Not even, no, they're all COS. I've been to that office many times. That's why I'm said, sir, I can tell you details about things. I'm going to talk to you about your legislation putting in the rules that are stopping the good work of DA when they want to do things. They're all COS. And I talked to them, one of them from DTI, where I used to come from, and I said, good heavens, can you tell me? And then there's another guy. He exports to 42 countries. I think you know him. He went to a 3-day conference all on this. And he said, good heavens, good heavens. I export to Thailand, Vietnam. Good heavens. They actually don't know what they're doing. So actually, Mr. Onyate, you will testify today, even though you don't swear, that I've informed you that just as information has improved because you got private sector consultants who experience it, that in the next month we are meeting, and Mr. Emil Javier, whom you know, he also is in this. He's in my colleague is Alianza Agricultura, Philippine Chamber of Agriculture and Fisheries, which is agribusiness with 48 sectors now, and the camp which I call the Los Baños Mafia all over. They said, And I got them to look at the hearings here, at the hearings in DA. And they said, you know, they actually need external experience. So they said, and please don't just ask your very renowned UPLB guys because they're still a bit academic. You must go to Lancoma and all that. And I said, don't forget Federation of Free Farmers Cooperatives. You must get the people outside and not have this intercourse means conversation, internal intercourse outside. So, sir, in the area of cooperatives, let me say this. This has been long waited since 2010. It's 2025 now. Both are not done. But finally, we're going there. But it is not enough. Because all this talk in this hall is useless if you do not get those laws passed. Because we were too much rhetoric and too little reality. And for me, it is sad that the people who are supposed to have agriculture are not steeped in the municipalities. They out from their air-conditioned offices. They give the budget. They don't have the budget. It's used. For example, agriculture. Why is it? I have said this. 30%. Why aren't you doing anything about it? Why not?
What is 30%?
30% of all projects we monitored. Okay, let me tell you this.
Yes, I understand. Go ahead.
We're given money only for 10% of the projects. 10% of projects. Of 200 million is for me is ridiculous. That's why Mr. Montemayor, I support him fully because he said, can you stop a lot of these meetings and get onto your main job, which is, well, recommending, and of course, to be honest with you, some do not reach the right places. And the second one, of course, is that the monitoring is so limited.
Good.
So let me summarize.
Yes, please.
I'll finish now, right?
Yes, please.
I talk here not about details. The details are better known by people like Mr. Montemayor. Of course, we have some others we can give. But I'd like to challenge and request and perhaps plead that today becomes a landmark that after 2010, when we heard nothing in full support of these two areas, it will happen now. So, Senator, I know you're the chair, but you need to get that Senate to back this up. Because if we don't get those two groups done, it is the same thing as 2010. It's all talk and not much action. And so we'd like to let you know this. We support you fully. We've always supported you. When you were in agriculture, you did fantastic things. You left us for a while. Now we're back. And we'd like to say this. Welcome back to the leadership that we long for in agriculture. Thank you.
Thank you to Alianza Agricultura, former USEC Ordonez. Go ahead, Sinag. Time check, it's 11. We still have enough time. Go ahead.
Yeah. Quickly, dun po sa dalawang at sa tatlong pending legislation, ang crucial talaga, Mr. Chair, yung data. Sabi nyo nga sa anecdote kanina, we're producing but we don't know how much we are producing and how much yung pangangailangan talaga ng consumers. So, sayang wala yung PSA ngayon, but we've been demanding that. Dapat per commodity, we know the need, we know the consumption, we know the supply. Kasi except for rice na kahit although even yung rice, nagtatalo tayo sa figures with PSA, several times. Lalo na yung mga high value crops. How many ang kailangan i-produce? Ano bang pangailangan? Except for onions. Kasi ang onions madali, seasonal, one-time cropping lang siya. So by nagtanim ka ng starting October, alam mo kaagad by February, ano yung supply mo. And by that time, alam mo rin ano yung i-import mo. So, madali yung onions. Kaya nga siya madaling napunta sa sindikato because they know the data. Yung sinasabi nating supply chain, malinaw yon. Ano yung local production mo, ano yung pangangailangan mo, at ano yung dapat mong i-import. So, yung onion could be a good example, kaya lang baliktad yung nangyari, no? Yung those in the know sa business, alam nila ano lang i-import, uunahan nila. And they can dictate the price because they control the supply, both local and yung importation. Data is crucial. Data is very important. That's why they can do it. Alam nila ano yung production, ano yung i-import, and when darating import nila. Sabi natin, don't import until June para malinaw ano yung nasa cold storage and only import pagdating ng July, August hanggang October bago mag-planting uli ng sibuyas by November. That should be the system sa lahat ng commodities. Alam natin ilan yung pinoproduce at ilan yung pangangailangan. So very crucial yung data. In other countries, meron silang commodity board. And sila yung kinoconsult mo ng government before they import. Very powerful yan sa Europe, sa North America. These are private sector-led. Pero sila yung tinatanong mo ng government if they need to import or kung may problema sa pricing, kung may drought, kung meron man nagka-problema sa production. Sila yung kinakausap before any attempt to import or whatever.
Could you give us material, links?
Yeah. We will.
To help us better understand itong commodity board.
Yeah. Ang DA nag-initiate ng commodity board pero very limited yun. We're part of it also. Mga short-term, short-term agenda, short-term problem. Okay naman yun, i-resolve ng DA through the commodity boards. Pero gusto natin talaga commodity board that can really look at the whole supply chain. If you know the whole supply chain, alam mo rin paano kagagalaw sa buong value chain. So mula pre-production, production, post-production. So very crucial. I hope PSA lagi naming inaaway sila sa ilang engagement. Very crucial kailangan natin ng data para pag may problema, nandiyan ang data, isa lang yung pag-uusapan ng industry and DA. Ito yung data.
There's na yung per capita consumption ng kamatis.
Wala.
Sir, the latest per capita data of the PSA based on survey is 2015 pa po. And we are proposing to conduct po the survey on food demand so we can have an update.
10 taon na.
Yes, sir.
Di dagdag nyo na lang yung populasyon tapos i-infer na lang ninyo. But do you have the data? I mean, of the 2015, what do you call it? Consumption?
Survey on food demand, sir.
Yes. So can we have at least the copy of your 2015? We'll just extrapolate from that. So
Okay.
meron kang per capita consumption ng kamatis.
Sir, for all agricultural.
Kaya nga, bawang,
Yes, sir.
manok. Tapos, syempre, ilalatag mo yan and then, i-juxtapose mo dun sa ano ang production.
Yes, sir.
Do you have also the data on production?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Kasi nga, we know that we are importing what? 90%? Oh no, almost 80% of our coffee, almost 80% of our cacao, di ba? In terms of local consumption and so forth and so on. So whatever you have, can you submit to us for 2015?
Yes, sir. We will provide the data.
And it wasn't very clear. When are you going to have the next set of data for 2025, 10 years later?
Sir, we propose these activities but sir, unfortunately, sir, hindi po nabibigyan ng pondo.
Ah,
Yes. The survey on food demand. And
bakit naman? Pagkain yun eh. Hindi ba?
sir, we have included the
How much is that?
Sir, for the initial computation, it's almost 200 million, sir.
200 million.
Yes.
So you mean to say you spent about that amount in 2015?
Not that, sir. It was funded by Department of Agriculture, sir, when we are Bureau of Agricultural Statistics.
Dati kasi, Chair,
Go ahead,
may bus kasi dati. Nawala ang bus Bureau of Agricultural Statistics. Kaya yung PSA parang nasa ilalim lang yung agriculture. So maybe we can also look into that. Walang pondo talaga to conduct yung survey nga. So
So you're saying in 2015, nung nasa DA pa, pinondohan ng DA?
Yes, sir. We have initial talks with the DA, but then, sir, dun sa pondo din po ng DA when we submit it in a proposal sa hindi rin po nila kayang pondohan yung needed allocation. So what we did at PSA po, sir, is we included